What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Today we're going to be moving our Cellhasher from outside inside, not due to the fact that it's like overheating or anything, but due to the fact that I'm overheating. So I wanted to add some more phones to it, but in the meantime I need to get it set up on a new computer so that way I can actually access it. So I figured I would go through that process with you guys. So the first thing you're going to need is an actual Cellhasher. If you don't know what that is, it's a box, or think of it like an ASIC for cell phones. It's got a motherboard in there. You can connect each of the phones up, and then you can control them from your computer. So it's a lot easier to change mining information, get them installed, the miner programs, and also de-bloat them and uninstall a bunch of programs that are unnecessary for mining on the cell phones. Now they hold, I think, 20 phones a piece, so you can definitely buy them unloaded and then load them yourself. That's what I've been doing. But since I moved everything into inside, well, I didn't move everything. My outside computer is no longer set up with them. So yeah, I need to get it back going. All right, let's go out there and get it. All right guys, so we're back inside. This is the Cellhasher. There's a cover that goes over this. We have it off because we're gonna be working on it right now. Went ahead and plugged it into power, and I'm about to plug it into the computer now. But let's go over to the computer section and see all the setup procedure, because there's a new software out since I've used it. All right, so you're gonna wanna go over to the Cellhasher Git book. I'll put this link down below, and it's got the guide on how to do it. Here's the GitHub to download the latest release. You're actually not gonna wanna download the latest release because there's an issue with the latest release on the screen copy doesn't work. So you're gonna wanna go down to version, let's see here where it is, 0.3. So click on this one, go down to the bottom. You're gonna download the Cellhasher controller exe right there. Then you're also gonna need to download the SCRCPY Screepy. That's needed for the screen copy. So click on that, download that one. Once you get your screen copy open, let's see here. We'll go to downloads. Where's my downloads? There it is. So there's my screen copy. I downloaded it yesterday. You're gonna need to extract it or unzip it, then grab this file. And what I did is I copied it and I just put it in my documents. So I put it in my documents because you need to leave it in there. Don't put it in your downloads folder. If you delete all your downloads, this program needs this. So if it's not there, then it doesn't work. But anyway, that's in my documents. Now you're gonna want to open up, I got so many things open here. The cellhasher.exe, I just dragged that onto the desktop. It'll give you a warning, just disregard, and you're gonna look at this. No devices are connected. You're gonna wanna go to settings, then to the Scrappy binary path, click plus, and then go to documents and click on right there, Scrappy, and then hit, where is it? I think this is it. I think that's the one. I believe so, scrappy.exe. All right, hit save. Now let's go back and open up our guide. Which one's our guide here? We'll go back. There we go. So download the latest release, download Scrappy. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. Then extract, unzip, open Cellhasher control application. Go to settings and set the Scrappy binary path. Select scrappy.exe file. That's the one we did. Then allow USB debugging on devices. Using the data cable included with your Cellhasher, plug the Cellhasher into a computer and open the Cellhasher control. On each mobile device, select always allow from this computer. You will only need to do this once per computer. It's a little tough to do when you put them inside of here. So I'm gonna turn on and plug in the Cellhasher here. And then I found out it was just an easier way to do this for me is plug in a USB cable right there. See, and then we have this one. Ideally, this is better to do outside of the Cellhasher, but you can still do it like this. And then I'm gonna pull one of these out just for reference. And what we're gonna do is plug this into the device. Then it'll say, do you allow blah 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 for this computer. We hit allow USB debugging. Then you can unplug and plug it in with the adapter because you set it to always allow. So then that means it'll always be okay to use the Cellhasher with the device on this computer. If you switch computers, you have to do it again. All right, so let me try to show you what we're working with here. It is limited space. So I'm gonna unplug this guy, and we're gonna turn this device on. There we go, it's powering up. I'm gonna let that power up. Once it's powered up, then we're gonna plug it in and do the always allow USB debugging. So be right back. All right guys, so it has been a minute. I let it boot up. Let's see if we can't try to plug it in. Okay, so we got the screen up. Alright, so this is what you're going to be looking for. Allow USB debugging. And then make sure you check that box that says always allow from this computer so you don't have to do this again. If you don't select that box, you will have a bad time. Now I can unplug this and plug it into the actual motherboard with the little dongle. Let's see, make sure it's set up the right way. Right there. This is it. There we go. Oh. The reason, by the way, the reason why I had paper in there is because I had this Cellhasher plugged into a power extender or power strip that wasn't grounded. So the body was grounded and it was registering it as touching the screen. It doesn't seem to be doing that anymore. But I'm inside and I'm also on like a nicer power outlet or power strip. All right, now that you have that always allow debugging, you should, in theory, be able to go to, I like going to view grid and then click on mirror all devices. So Scrappy started for all devices. We'll give this a second and see. It should boot right up here because it found the device already. So yeah, we have one device. It didn't do it. Let's go back. Mirror all devices. There we go. Look at that. Okay, boom. So once you have more of them, they'll end up stacking on this page so you can like enlarge it. But essentially now you can click and drag and use this like you're at it at the computer. So from this point forward, you can go ahead and go down to, there's a section right here for deep loading. Let me find that. Sometimes it's good to set the battery temperature so it doesn't register an overheat, but I do like setting the battery level at 99, hit submit, and then it thinks the battery's locked in and good to go. Wi-Fi connection, enter your Wi-Fi SSID and the password. I've already done that. Mine's connected to Wi-Fi. Definitely need to do that right away. Moving further down, click on hard remove. This will de-bloat your phone. If you notice right here, there is a bunch of like games and stuff on here. Now watch this, hard remove, and it's performing hard remove on selected devices, and watch, these apps will start chipping away. It knocked a couple of them off. Well, it didn't get all of them, but it got a few of them off. I always do that on mine just to try to reduce the amount of extra apps that are running. Now we need to go to select script. So you're gonna go to browse. Nope, that's not it. Pre-made scripts, that's where it's at. Right there. And you're gonna need to go to Verus setup. So you can put your mining address in, your pool URL, and then number of threads. So I'm gonna go get my information and I'll be right back. All right, so I got my Verus coin address, and then we are gonna be using verus.jellyfc.com. That is our community pool over at the Jellyfish Gang. There are 3 different ports, and I can't for the life of me remember which ports for which, and they say undefined. So I went ahead and went over there and cracked the whip on old Dragon. He's the guy that runs the VerusCoin pool for us on Jellyfish, and I'm like, which one do I need? So I'm just gonna start out with the lowest one. I think that'll be fine, and we'll go from there. If he gets back to me before this video is over, then you'll know. If not, then he's gonna be changing this because we need to know. It says all the same starting difficulty, but these gotta be different. They got to be. Now let's go back over here. I put my address in, and then I also put a period and then the worker name in, and pool URL, boom. And then I'm gonna leave number of threads as default to 8 because these phones are 8-threaded phones. Now we're gonna hit run, and it'll go through and do its thing. It might take a second the first time you do it, so just bear with it. All right guys, so I ran into an issue, and apparently if you enter your worker name and wallet address and the pool in right here and you hit run, it does not actually take effect, and it was mining to the donation address on Luck Pool. I reached out to Luke, and apparently that's why they have a new version of the Cellhasher software out, but the new version has an issue with screen mirroring, and I don't want to look at every single screen. I want them all mirrored on my computer. So one software is working on one side, one software is not working on the other. But I'll show you how to change your wallet address and the pool manually on each phone. So I have 2 of them up and running. Let me go ahead and start the 3rd one so I can show you from the top. All right guys, so after you run the script and it installs on a phone and it starts hashing, what you need to do is hit control and then hit C. That will stop the miner. Then you're gonna wanna type in CD space CC miner / Then that puts you in that folder. You can do LS to list all the items that are in that folder, and you see that there is a config.json in there. That's what we're interested in editing. So you're going to use nano, N-A-N-O, type that in, space config.json, and then you'll see there's information in here, US Viper, USSE Viper. Well, those are listed as 1, means they're disabled. Let me get my cursor down here. So 1 is disabled, this one's disabled. The one that it's running on is disabled 0. That means this is the active one. It's the NA-Luck Pool. So we're gonna change the name over to Jelly, Jelly, and then we're gonna go over here and type in the URL, which I have it pulled up over here to the side. It is verus.jellyfc.com:3092, and then so that is the one that is enabled. You see all the other ones are 1, that means those are disabled. You want to have the enabled one, the correct one. And then we're going to go down here, and where it says user, you're going to need to, and it says user.donation, you're going to need to move all this out, and you're going to type in your wallet address. So I'm going to type mine in. You guys don't need to watch this. All right, so after you type your wallet address in, you do period, and then that's your worker name inside of the quotations. Then you're going to want to save it, you're going to hit Control X, so Control and then X, then it's going to ask you save modified buffer, hit Y for yes, and then you're going to hit the enter right here. I think it's just off the camera, right there, the return. So hit enter, and then we're back to this screen right here. To restart the miner, you're going to hit period /start.sh. And then it's going to fire up, and we're using stratum verus.jelly, and we'll be able to check the jellyfish website, the Verus jellyfish mining website here in a second to make sure that this phone populates correctly. So we'll let this get a couple confirmed shares, and then we'll go over there. All right guys, so far I have these 4 installed. I just did Vibe 20, so it's coming online, and Vibe 19. And that's these 4 phones right there. I have some more phones. I need to get those bad boys up and going. But yeah, so far I'm at least happy with what it is. Now, as for the power draw, I'm gonna get this thing filled up and then see what it actually is drawing. It's not much. These phones are, I'd say, sub 10 watt or right around 10 watts a piece. So they're super efficient for mining Verus. Way more efficient than any of your x86 desktop chips. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, y'all have a good one. I'll see you on the flip side. Adios.